So whether you're living together and separated, or one of you has moved out of the home, you need to determine between the two of you the date of separation.
I don't talk to a lot of people who feel like they've been fairly done by. So I think the toughest part I see is that uncoupling of the finances process. It's messy.
Knowing what you want, why you want it, creating a plan, setting goals to achieve that is a whole new way of thinking about your money and creating financial independence. Divorce can be emotionally and financially overwhelming. That's why I'm teaming up with Sunny Wishart, president and founder of a la carte Financial and a certified financial planner. We will show you how to understand all things money without feeling ashamed, overwhelmed, embarrassed. You will learn more, ask questions. No question is a dumb question. Welcome to Money with Sunny. Let's get into it. Welcome to Money with Sunny. My name is Wendy Rovers. I'm a divorce coach and founder of Divorce Thrive. And I'm here to speak with Sunny Wishart, an advice-only financial planner at a la carte. Hey, Sunny, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Wendy?
Really good, really good. Um, Today we're going to talk about the importance of understanding your finances, what to do, where to begin when separation and divorce are what you're going through. So, Sunny, talk to us about what's most important when it comes to finances and separation. Let's kind of start at the beginning. Divorce is on the table. It's a real challenging time. We all know it's a really, really tough time. But sometimes money is the last thing we think about. Sometimes we're just so focused on, oh my God, and the emotions and our kids and where we're going to live and what's really important when it comes to money and separation.
hmm Yeah, sometimes we get a little ahead of ourselves and we start thinking about, you know, like before you do any negotiation or anything like that, it's super fresh. One of the first things you want to do is start considering things like just maintaining everything. What does this look like? What does it look like to keep carrying the mortgage? Who's going to stay in the home? Who's leaving the home? Probably, or there could be a lot of joint banking. Like how is that money being shared? So these are the very preliminary steps that need to be addressed before you start looking down, like negotiating who gets the kids and who gets this share of the house and all these assets. um so I have, like, there is quite a list of things to consider in the very early stages. And I do have a divorce ebook that we can share. We can link in the podcast, and it's going to walk you through and prompt you with these preliminary questions. And then
Right.
once you do all that, once you go through these questions, the next thing you want to do, which is paint a financial picture at that moment. So it is so important to have an understanding holistically of what your money looks like at the data separation. So much is rides on that when it comes to division of asset, equalization. It's going to be based on this snapshot. So you need to create the snapshot. And depending on your awareness of your household finances, it could be a little bit of legwork.
So I
So,
want I want to just pause for a sec.
yeah.
Date of separation. What is that?
So that's the date that I don't speak legalese, but
Yeah.
it's that you've formally agreed that this is the date that he's left the home or she's left the home, and that this, or even if you're in the home, that the marriage is done. Because there has to be a point in time to use to look at the assets. So
Right.
the date of separation is going to kind of be a bit of a this is the date where the marriage stops and you're going to start uncoupling everything.
Mhm. Okay, great. Because I wanted to make that clear for everyone. So whether you're living together and separated, or one of you has moved out of the home, you need to determine between the two of you the date of separation, and that's when, as Sunny mentioned, you begin to uncouple your finances, and that's when equalization payments are determined. And equalization, talk to us about equalization, because I get a lot of questions about this. And what is equalization?
I feel like it's the wrong word because it
Okay.
makes it sound like it's gonna come out equal, which makes you think it's gonna be fair,
Yep.
and I don't talk to a lot of people who feel like they've been fairly done by. So it never really feels fair. So equalization, the spirit of this is that these are the assets, that and then this is how they grew during the marriage. Um, so sometimes people say they brought assets in the marriage and they didn't protect themselves. That's a whole other can of worms, but technically during the marriage is what you've grown together. And that includes things like CPP contributions off your paycheck. So if one was home looking after the kids and one was out working in the workforce, that workforce spouse had the opportunity to participate in the Canada pension plan or their own pension plans. And the one at home didn't get to participate in that. So they're eligible for a portion of that because it was a marital asset.
Hmm.
So the idea is that you split these assets equally and everyone comes out fair. So sometimes someone will say, I'm foregoing taking his pension and I'm going to take full equity of the home.
Hmm.
And that could work out that way. So it's not directly a 50-50. And that's the negotiation components.
And what you agree upon between the two of you.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. So we have determined the separation date. And now what? Now I'm considering divorce. I think that divorce is best for my family. We'll include the financial guide that you've created. We'll include that in a link below this talk. So grab that, because that's going to help you walk through and kind of consider all the different things. But what do you see as next step for someone? If we kind of had to give people an overview of what they need to consider now to work towards financial independence, understanding their money, um, especially if you've been the one caregiving, and maybe money hasn't been something that you've been too involved with. There's investments here and there, and you don't even know where they are. You could be working outside of the home and still a primary caregiver, and maybe your partner is the one handling all of the finances, and you just don't know. So it's a gathering of documentation, but it's also knowing what to look for. So what do you recommend, Sunny?
Make a list. You have to list everything and you have to find everything and put this is this is what we own and this is what we owe. And it's got to be listed out. You need to have it all in front of you in one place. Like these are the bank balances, these are the investment balances. Um, these are our cars and our car loans and our house value ish and mortgage. It has to all be in one place. You really need to have that tidied up before you move forward with anything. And the that list is important not just for knowing, just saying for equalization and beginning negotiating. It's important for perhaps knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you could find an account and say, "Oh, I didn't realize we had this," or "I didn't realize we owed that." So sometimes some stones get uncovered or turned over that, "Oh, I didn't realize." And that is a very common story that perhaps there was a credit card and they didn't realize these transactions were happening on it. So it's really important to just create that list and be aware of all the products out there, all the assets, liabilities that need to be considered.
Yeah, great. That's great advice. And then what do you, in your experience working with people that are going through separation and divorce, what often derails them? What are they missing? What would you say to them? You know, how would you guide them to making best choices with their finances?
Yeah, so I think the toughest part I see is that uncoupling of the finances process. It's messy. I
Hmm.
just don't feel there's any way around that. And it's going to be hard, and you have to be aware. So, you've got all these car payments coming out. And I recently had one say, well, my car payment's a lot more than his, but we split everything for now. And it's
Right.
like, eventually that car payment's going to have to be yours.
Hmm.
So if everything is going well for now, move forward with getting your own accounts, get things in your own name, open products in your own name. You need a bank account, you need a credit card, and that stuff might sit in the joint account for a little bit because we're dealing with heavy emotions. We don't know, it's like, well, all of a sudden I have to solely pay this car payment and it's huge. Maybe I should be unloading my car. Okay, like
Hmm.
let's think about that, but let's get some products in your own name and move forward from there. So I think just giving yourself, like, this is going to be at least 3 months of messiness, and doing your best to make sure you're satisfying payments, um, and not letting anything get behind. But I do know that, it's, and then move forward and get stuff in your own name. But just as like a bit of peace of mind, back in my lending days, we did give forgiveness and grace if people had a bit of a black mark on their credit during a certain period, and it was like good, then not good for this little window, then good again. And you said, oh, I went through my divorce and things went a little delinquent. They do, they can often overlook that. So it's not like this happened and you're in big trouble and you're never getting in good books again.
Yeah.
It is in the lending space very common to see because they understand that. How do you navigate that in those early stages?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Then that's good for us to know. A period of grace and everybody understands a tough time that we go through in our life. And yeah, if everything's looked good prior to and you're getting back on track, it's okay. When I'm working with clients, money, yeah, money is it's a crazy topic for so many people. It's scary. We have certain beliefs around money. We've grown up a certain way of thinking about money. And then if we're in a marriage where we um, aren't really involved with the money, we may kind of just not know what money means to us. And so when I work with a client who's struggling with with their money situation, I'll walk them through a process where we write down our money story, and it kind of starts like this. You know, if you can look ahead 3 years from now, and it's the perfect day. I mean, you're surrounded by the perfect people, the ones that you love. Maybe you're sitting in a cafe in Paris. Maybe you're skiing down a slope in the Alps. Maybe you're climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Maybe you're in your living room, snuggled up, watching a great movie with someone that you love and care about. Just the perfect day. Your money's in order, bills are all paid, life is going great. I want you to really, really take some time and create that day. And then I want you to think about at the same time the little thoughts that come into your mind about why that's not possible for me. Well, I can't have that, or I can't be thinking like this. That's selfish. That's greedy. My mom never had that, so why should I? My friend doesn't have that, so why should I be asking for this? I want you to think about these thoughts that are running through your mind. Um, and then from there, we create um, a new money story, and it's a process. And knowing what you want, why you want it, creating a plan, setting goals to achieve that is a whole new way of thinking about your money and creating financial independence. And there's lots of work to be done here because money is um, a lot more than just a dollar bill or a loonie or a peso or it's a lot more than just it's energy, and it's the way we think about it and the way we believe about it and the way we've grown up thinking about it and believing about it, and it's very internalized. So just um, working with me, my clients have really appreciated the new outlook that they have and their new ability to be financially independent, to be strong when it comes to money, to understand it. And I point them in the direction of people like yourself to say, listen, we don't have to know it all, but what you have to do is have the right people in your corner so that you can learn. And you have to have an openness and a willingness to learn and then to do the work. And with the right person, you can accomplish so much. I mean, really, the sky's the limit. So I think it's a really cool topic of conversation because it's practical. We'd like you to download this ebook that Sunny's created, follow the steps, and then do the internal work. And all of that combined, there's so much possibility and so much growth and so much excitement that you can have in your life when it comes to money. I mean, what else do you want to say here, Sonny? What else is important? You work with people every single day transitioning through separation and divorce.
Hmm. Um, I hear it all the time, and I heard it yesterday in particular, speaking to a new client. She said, "It's time I get my head out of the sand." And
Mm,
I say that all the time, and she just kind of spoke to me. She's in her late 50s. She's paid no attention to the money, but
mhm.
she's ready and she's willing to do the work. And that's my favorite, when you're ready,
Yeah.
because then it's going to work out because you're
Mhm.
willing to look at it and do the work.
Yeah, perfect. So if you're looking for supports, reach out to us. We're here, we're available, we're ready to talk to you. Download that ebook. Amazing information there. Great next steps to take. Thanks so much for being here with us today. Thanks, Sunny.
Thanks, Wendy.
And remember, you are important, you are worthy, and you are loved.